The turkey was still steaming when my sister leaned close and smiled like a knife. "You should leave," she said, "and never return." My son's fork froze mid-air. My mother didn't look at me. She adjusted the centerpiece and added, almost kindly, "Christmas is so much better without you." I didn't raise my voice. I didn't cry. I stood up, wiped my son's hands with my napkin, and said, "Then you won't mind me doing this." 5 minutes later, they were begging me to undo it. I used to believe blood meant shelter, that family was a permanent address. I built my life around that lie. I worked late, saved early, showed up on holidays, sent gifts with notes. I raised my son alone after his father died, and I did it with discipline and softness, the way you do when you know a child is watching how you survive. My mother used to call me her anchor. My sister called me when she needed money, silence, or someone to clean up a mistake. I never kept score. I kept receipts. Habits die hard, but I never imagined I'd need them. The first red flag came dressed as concern. "You seem tired," my sister said one afternoon. "Maybe you shouldn't be managing Mom's finances anymore." Managing, a funny word for what I actually did. Paid bills, negotiated debt, refinanced the house, kept the lights on. Another red flag followed, a bank letter addressed to my mother, unopened, tucked behind a cookbook. Then a missed payment I knew I'd scheduled. Then a comment at dinner about how some people lean too much on family. I smiled. I listened. I waited. The betrayal announced itself quietly. A locked drawer, a new power of attorney, my signature copied badly, too confident, wrong slant. I didn't confront anyone. I went home and put my son to bed. I kissed his forehead, then I sharpened. I requested statements. I pulled timestamps. I compared handwriting. I discovered a second account in my mother's name with withdrawals that matched my sister's spending habits perfectly. I found emails forwarded to a private address. I found the moment they decided I was disposable. I didn't feel rage. Rage is noisy. I felt clarity. Silence became my weapon. I spoke less at dinners. I asked neutral questions. I let them underestimate me because they always had. Meanwhile, I booked a meeting with the bank manager, then a lawyer, then a notary. I didn't accuse. I presented facts. Facts don't need emotion to bruise. Christmas arrived with fake warmth and tight smiles. I brought my son because he loves the tree, because I believed in normalcy, because I wanted them comfortable. Comfort makes people careless. That's when my sister said it. That's when my mother agreed. I looked around the table, the house I'd saved, the plates I'd bought, the power I'd quietly held, and stood. My son slid his chair back, confused. I wiped his hands. I met my sister's eyes and said, "Then you won't mind me doing this." I stepped into the hallway and made one call. 5 minutes later, the room changed temperature. The bank manager called my mother first, then the lawyer sent the email, then the notification hit my sister's phone. Accounts frozen pending investigation. The new power of attorney invalidated due to fraud. The house, now legally protected by a trust I'd set up months ago, no longer a playground. My sister laughed, once, too loud. My mother stood, pale. There must be a mistake. I returned to the table and sat. I cut my son's food. There isn't. I laid the folder down. No theatrics, just paper, dates, amounts, signatures, screenshots. I didn't look at them when I spoke. I watched my son chew. "You stole from me," I said. "From him. You planned to erase me." My sister's voice cracked. "Undo it, please. It's Christmas." My mother reached for my hand like I was still hers. "We can fix this." I finally met their eyes. Calm is terrifying when it doesn't bend. I already did. The begging came in waves, apologies shaped like excuses, tears timed for effect. I waited until it burned out. Then I stood, put on my coat and lifted my son. At the door, I turned. "Don't contact me again. The trust ensures care without access. The investigation ensures consequences." I smiled once, not for them. That night, I tucked my son into bed in our quiet apartment. He asked why Grandma was mad. I told him the truth in a language that wouldn't scar. Sometimes people choose wrong. We choose right. I slept deeply for the first time in years. Weeks later, the house was sold. Proceeds went where they should have always gone. My sister learned what silence costs. My mother learned what entitlement burns. I learned that dignity is a decision. They told me to leave and never return. They were right about one thing. Christmas is better without them.